You may have heard the term design thinking and noticed that it applies to anything from corporate strategy to designing apps. That's because design thinking is a creative problem-solving method that can be applied to any problem of varying complexity that involves humans. You can use it to launch a learning and development program, to design a community garden, or to develop a new product or service. In fact, companies all over the world have used design thinking to shape their processes, culture, products, and services. The Stanford D School approaches design thinking with these 5 stages: empathize or understand, define, ideate, prototype, and test. There are various methodologies for design thinking, but these steps are represented in some form. Empathy means to understand the needs and pain points of our target customers. For example, if using the design process to develop a training program for a company, we want to talk with our employee learners to find out more about their challenges and learning preferences. After gathering initial understanding, we can formulate a problem statement. Problem statements usually have 4 components: the problem, the persona or who we're solving for, the outcome, and measuring the outcome. Problem statements don't propose solutions. We want the process to lead us to the right conclusions without making any assumptions. For this example, our problem statement will focus on training employees. In this case, there's a lack of business skills. The persona we're targeting are administrative employees. The outcome we're looking for is to develop new business skills. We'll measure this by how many people pass certification tests. Next, we'll come up with a series of ideas to address the problem statement, like creating a learning path, offering skill badges, or short videos. Then, we can create paper prototypes for how these ideas could work. To prototype a process, like a weekly knowledge series, we can develop a schedule of topics with some key objectives as an example of the programming structure. Lastly, we would test these ideas with our employee learners and see what they think. We can categorize this into what people liked, didn't like, and what to test next. If you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. This is an iterative process, and you can gather as much feedback as you need before you launch your idea. The key point to remember about design thinking is that humans are at the center of the process. When we design for people, we create meaningful solutions no matter which problem we're applying it to.